Shabbat הגדול, Shalom, Chag Sameach. Tomorrow night, Motzei Shabbat, after days and weeks of preparation, we now sit like kings and celebrate the holiday of Pesach, the holiday that celebrates our exodus from Egypt, from slavery, from bondage. That Seder, that ritual, has a foundation of 4 cups of wine. 4 cups of wine are drunk at that Seder. But they just can't be drunk one after another. No. They have to be sequential. The Seder has to follow an order, and each cup is drunk at that place. The first cup, Kiddush. The second cup, Haggadah. The third cup, Birkat HaMazon. And the fourth cup is Hallel. Also, to drink the cups is not sufficient. I have to drink them in a manner that I'm leaning. I am no more a slave. I am a free man. And if you remember Cleopatra, Antony, when they ate, they lean on their beds because they were royalty. In the non-Jewish world, we are royalty also. There's another concept concerning the 4 cups. It's not enough just to drink them. They have to be at the table when we do the Haggadah. For example, when I open up the Haggadah, it tells me, and here we fill our cups. Right before Manishtana, we fill our cups. Why? We're not going to drink the cup for another 45 minutes. Some people, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Why are we filling the cup? Because the Haggadah has to be said as the wine is in front of us. It's part of the monarchy. Now, I'll tell you, when I was eating by my Rosh Yeshiva's house, Rav Aaron Soloveitchik, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, the Ashkenazim have a minhag to take their finger and take a drop of wine from the cup for every one of the makot. Dam, Tzefadeya, Kinim, 1 drop. We Sfaradim are a little bit more generous. We pour it out. One young man, humanitarian, felt bad. He poured out for each makkah. And at the end, he had an empty cup. The Rosh Yeshiva said, we have a problem now. Because the same cup which you say the Haggadah on is the one which you will drink right before the meal. And you're not going to say the Haggadah totally on the same cup. Maybe you have to start over again. Let's fill your cup and start Manishtana again. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that is the halacha, but that is what Rav Aaron Soloveitchik said his uncle would have done. His uncle was the Briskerov, one of the great rabbis of post-World War II. But that is one of the concepts of the 4 cups of wine, how they are to be drunk. But question arises, when I open up the Torah, there's no mention of the 4 cups of wine. It is purely a rabbinical mitzvah, and they had set it up in the Seder in such a manner, the Chachamim. But why? Why did they feel it necessary to have 4 cups of wine? What do those 4 cups of wine represent? So we have a statement from the Jerusalem Talmud, which tells us that in Parshat Va'era, when God is taking us out of the bondage of Egypt, under the constraints of slavery, he used 4 terminologies. V'otzeti, v'hitzalti, v'ga'alti, and v'lakachti. Each cup of wine represents one of the terminologies God used. And why did God have to use 4 terminologies? To do what? To take us out of Egypt. Just take us out. And the Mefarshim and the scholars and the sages tell us that in Egypt we were losing our personality. First and foremost, it was a moral assimilation. Our morality was going down. And as the Ari HaKadosh says, we reached the 49th level of Tumah. Horrible. So God had to save us from that depravity. That's one cup. First cup. Kadesh. Take us and do what with us? And bring us up again. Get us out of that mud hole, that quicksand which is dragging us down. When a person's a slave, cup number 2, is what? He has no hope. He doesn't see the future. Where is he going? Borei Olam had to give us new hope. That is the concept of Vehitzalti. I have saved you. I have given you now hope. 3, a slave has no history. A slave is bereft of knowledge where he came from. We are the children of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. We can't forget that. And in Egypt, that might have been forgotten. So the redemption was to remind us who we really were, to remember our past. It is often said, historians, if you don't know where you came from, you'll never know where you're going. And we, Am Yisrael, know where we came from. Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And we know for certain where we're going. The Borei Olam will take us to the Geula Shelemah very quickly. And the last Lashon, the last cup, V'lakachti, and I am taking you for myself as a nation. According to the great scholar, the Bet HaLevi, that is a reference to Matan Torah. Besides taking us out of Egypt, God gave us His Torah, His law. And that would be in good stead throughout our history. That would make us, Am Yisrael, the prized possession of God, His firstborn son. My friends, when we drink the cups tomorrow night, each one of them, while we're leaning, let us realize how important it is that we shall not be morally assimilated to our society which we live in, which is truly has fallen to great depths. Let us have hope that the future brings only good things in the Geula Shelemah. Let us remember that our history is glorious. Our history from Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, David, Shlomo, throughout our history. Am Yisrael, there's no nation like Am Yisrael. And let us not forget, by the time we drink the 4th cup, that there is nothing like the Holy Torah, which gives us the power to be moral giants. It gives us the power to look at the future. And it gives us the power to know who we are and where we're going. My friends, Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach, and let us utilize this night. And the angels will be dancing with Borei Olam when they look at us. And that will speed up the Geula very quickly. Chag Sameach.